Okay, here we are inside of Fraps, and what I'm going to do today is show you how to set up Fraps so that you can start recording footage from EVE Online for the film that you're going to be making. The first thing to do is to decide where you want to save the Fraps files to. Now, I'd recommend saving to a second hard drive, really for performance and storage reasons. If you don't have a second hard drive, just be aware that Fraps files can get quite large. We've got an option here for half size and full size. Now, what that really means is half resolution and full resolution. So if you want the highest quality with sharp images, always record to full size. Bear in mind, if you're running a single core processor, and I know a lot of people do, you have a limitation on the full size recordings of 1152 by 864 with a 4:3 ratio, or your absolute maximum is 1280 by 800. So if you try and record above those resolutions with a single core processor, Fraps will still record, but it will record at half resolution. Options here for frames per second. Any one of these frames per second will work absolutely fine with any video editing suite that you're going to be using, but I think 30 frames per second gives you pretty good results. Options here for no cursor. If you select that, that means that the cursor that you use and that you see when you're playing EVE will not be recorded. Option there for no sync. I recommend that you leave that unchecked, because having that checked will mean that Fraps will actually start to skip frames, and so although you've got, for example, say 30 frames per second Fraps files, because it's skipping frames and not recording everything, the Fraps footage will seem to run at a faster pace than the actual game was running when you were recording it. So just be aware of that and just leave that box unchecked. You can record the sound, of course, but very few people actually have sound in the game, so it's up to you, but I think it's kind of a moot point. But anyway, once you've got these settings the way you want them, say full size, 30 frames per second, and this is actually how I record from EVE. Do a few test runs, 10-second burst recordings from EVE, and have a look at the quality, see what you think, and if everything looks good, then use those settings. And the thing to bear in mind is to have consistency. So if you're making an EVE Online film, it's a lot easier on you if you've got all of the same resolution and all of the same frames per second on all of the Fraps files that you're going to be using for your EVE Online film. But once you're happy with those settings there, you are good to go.